Alright, shooting the shit about some old videos. You know, this week I'm going to show you something very special. I found this old clip from when I first came to the United States in 1987. I lived with this family, the Becks, Jesse Beck and his brother Stuart and Seth, and I rented a room from them, and naturally those kids got into trials riding too. And initially I thought I would just stay there for 3 months and then go back home and go to university, you know. And this was before I got sponsored by GT, before I got sponsored by Swatch. I think literally a week later Swatch picked me up. I was still riding with like Vision streetwear stuff they given me the week before, and I was wearing some Haro leathers. I was actually talking to Haro about a sponsorship, and I was actually pretty close signing a deal with them before GT came along. I was really stoked because I got to meet Bob Haro himself and talk to him, and one of these days we decided just to do a fun little video, and it actually features my very first car I bought here in the United States, this Volkswagen Bug for $700, and we piled up all of our bikes and drove up through the neighborhood. And the cool part is at the end of the video, so make sure you watch it, you know, when we depart at the very end in style. But these days it was cool, you know. I mean, I could have never imagined what would happen in the following 30 plus years, you know, with my career, with the sport, that I actually would stay in the States, you know, basically all my life. I moved there when I was 20 years old, and the shorts I was wearing are very questionable, you know. I thought boxer shorts were the thing to wear, but maybe not quite like that. We had this real cool little trials ground right next to where we lived in San Juan Capistrano, and we were just playing around all day long. You know, this was before we had the fat tires on the rear wheels on the trials bikes. I was still riding a Monty. You know, helmets were only worn during competitions when they were mandatory, otherwise we wouldn't wear a helmet, and we would just have fun. And it's really kind of cool to see all this footage after all these years, and some of the tricks are on there actually quite cool, and I forgot that I even had them, you know, that I used to be able to do them, and then other stuff like like my own riding style, I was never really the biggest fan of it. I always thought it was a bit nervous and hopping around, so you know, it definitely reminds me of the old days, and partly it had to do with the geometry of the bikes and the way the bikes were built. They were a lot more nervous, and plus, you know, we didn't have it dialed as much. But flashback to 1987.
Amazing. Okay. Got it.
Okay, let's go back. If you're ready, baby.
Go.
Alright. I tried it again. Can ride. Alright, make sure you come back to my YouTube channel in the coming weeks and months. I'll be having a lot more stuff, shooting the shit with guys like Taylor Hawkins, the drummer of the Foo Fighters, or Martin Mace, who just like pulled a move in mountain bike racing that hasn't been done since Sean Palmer, I think. I'm gonna be showing you some more stuff in my garage, some old treasures, memories and stories, and I have a lot of really cool old footage, and I have a lot of really cool new footage that I will reveal slowly over the next few months.